A pleasant day, everyone. I am Christine Glidab Sardan. Before I introduce our topic, I would like to introduce my group members who will share more about the topic 4. They are Sandra Cabalios, Jaylene Apolinario, Eliza Texon, and Nur Zaina Salim. The intended learning outcomes. After studying the module, you are expected to Today, I will be talking about delivery modalities. So, in education, there are different ways teachers can deliver lessons to students, especially during changing situations like the pandemic. These methods are called delivery modalities. They adjust to students' needs, location, and access to resources. So, there are 4 delivery modalities. We have number 1, face-to-face learning. So this is the traditional setup where teachers and students interact in person. It allows real-time discussions, hands-out activities, and build relationships. Number 2, the blended learning. A combination of face-to-face and online learning. It gives flexibility and lets students learn at their own pace with teacher support. Number 3, the technology-based or online learning. Fully online using devices and platforms like Zoom or Google Classroom. It's useful when physical classes aren't possible but needs internet access and digital skills. For the last one is the distance learning. Used when teachers and students are apart. Lessons come through modules, TV, radio, or online. It's ideal for remote areas and encourage independent learning. So in conclusion, different delivery modalities help meet students' needs and ensure learning continues in any situation.
Good day, everyone. Good day to you, Coach Judith Martinez. Today, I will be discussing about structures of facilitating learner-centered teaching. So, the provided list outlines 3 distinct structures for facilitating learner-centered teaching. We have the formal tradition, alternative learning system or ALS, and alternative delivery modes or ADM. Each structure offers a unique approach to education, catering to different learning needs and contexts. Formal traditional education. So this structure represents the conventional classroom-based approach to education. It is characterized by a structured curriculum, formal assessments, age-based progression, and teacher-led instruction. So formal education typically takes place in recognized institutions like schools, colleges, and universities. So these are the key features of formal education. Structured curriculum, a defined syllabus and learning objectives guide instruction. We have also the formal assessments, standardized tests, exams, and assignments measure students' progress. So we also have the age-based progression. Students advance through grades based on their age and academic performance. And we have the credentials and qualifications. Successful completion of formal education leads to recognized certificates or degrees. So we also have here the teacher-led instruction. Teachers are the primary source of knowledge and guide student learning. Second, the alternative learning system or the ALS. So ALS provides a flexible and accessible education pathway for individuals who cannot or choose not to participate in formal schooling. It is a parallel learning system in the Philippines that offers a practical alternative to traditional instruction. So ALS is a pre-education program implemented by the Department of DepEd Education. So this is also the key features of ALS. We have the modular and flexible learning. Learners can study at their own space and schedule. We also have the non-formal and informal education. ALS encompasses both structured and unstructured learning experiences. We also have the community-based learning. All programs often take place in community learning centers, barangay halls, or other accessible locations. We also have the mobile teachers. ALS utilizes mobile teachers who travel to remote areas to deliver instruction. We also have the target learners. So ALS caters to out-of-school youth and adults, including dropouts, unemployed individuals, and members of cultural minorities. The last one is alternative delivery modes, or the ADM. So ADM refers to various approaches used by the DepEd to address challenges in providing quality education to all learners. These modes aim to overcome barriers like classroom congestion, geographical limitation, and individual learning needs. So ADM programs are designed to be inclusive and cater to diverse learners. So these are the key features of ADM. We have the modified in school of school approach, or MISOSA, combines classroom learning with independent study and flexible scheduling. We also have the enhanced instructional management by parents, community, and teachers. So utilize a peer ed approach and technology engaged learning materials. We also have the open high school program, offers decent learning opportunities for students at risk of dropping out. So class, in conclusion, the three structures for facilitating learner-centered teaching, we have the formal traditional, the alternative learning system, or ALS, and alternative delivery modes, or the ADM, represent a diverse range of educational approaches designed to meet the needs of a wide spectrum of learners. So each structure offers unique advantages and disadvantages, and the most appropriate choice depends on individual circumstances and learning goals.
Good day to each and everyone. My name is Jaylene D. Apolinario, and today allow me to continue the topic for the Module 4, which is all about the learner-centered pedagogy. Now, I will discuss about methods and strategies. So, number 1, methods. Learner-centered methods shift the focus from teacher-led instruction to student-centered activities, where learners take a more active role in their learning. Here are 3 major methods. Number 1, active learning activities. These are tasks that require students to actively participate in the learning process rather than passively receiving information. Examples: group discussions, role-playing, problem-solving tasks, and think, pair, share. So the purpose for this is to help students engage deeply with content, think critically, and retain information better. Number 2, cooperative learning activities. Involve students work together in small groups to achieve shared learning goals. Each member has a role and is responsible for their own learning and the group's success. Examples: the jigsaw activities, group project, peer teaching. So for the benefit of this, it improves communication, teamwork, and problem-solving skills. So for the last one is inquiry and inductive learning activities. This encourages students to ask questions, investigate, and draw conclusions from data or observations. Inductive learning means students start with examples or evidence, then build toward general principles or concepts. Examples: experiment, research task, case study, and discovery-based learning. Now let's move on to the lesson 2, which is all about learner-centered instructional strategies. So, cooperative learning. A teacher strategy that uses small groups with diverse abilities and backgrounds. Students learn from each other, build social skills, and gain a deeper understanding of content. Teachers act as facilitators, guiding the process rather than delivering all the content. Example, group assignment where each student is assigned a specific task that contributes to the group output. So for the last one, this is all about presentations. So students take responsibility for learning a topic and present it to their classmates. So this strategy enhances understanding, boosts confidence, and develops communication skills. Presentation can be individual or group based and can include digital tools like slides or multimedia. So teachers can use this strategy to assess both content mastery and soft skills. So that would be all for my discussions, and I hope you've learned something from this. Thank you.
Good day, students. My name is Teacher Eliza Texon. So now let's talk about role play. Role play is a technique that allows students to explore realistic situations by interacting with other people in a managed way in order to develop experience and try different strategies in a supported environment. It is an educational technique in which a people spontaneously act out problems of human relations and analyze the enactment with the help of other role players and observers. So, role playing isn't effective when the topic involves person to person communication. Our interactions, the advantages of role play are is to allow everyone to participate. It develops self-esteem and confidence and give them opportunity to show their creativity. So, meaning to say, role play is a learning method where students act out real life situations to practice communication and problem solving. It helps boost confidence, encourage participation, and allows creativity. So now let's talk about demonstration. A demonstration is a teaching method used to communicate an idea with the aid of visuals such as flip charts, posters, PowerPoint, etc. It is also a process of teaching someone how to make or do something in a step-by-step process. A demonstration always is a finished product. The key to a good demonstration is for the audience to be able to go home and do what you have taught them how to do. Now let's talk about the flexible learning and teaching. Flexible learning is a method of learning where students are given freedom in how, what, and when and where they learn. Flexible learning environment addresses how physical space is used, how students are grouped during learning, and how time is used throughout teaching. Examples of flexible learning are face-to-face contact, websites with interactive content, and or chat rooms, discussions boards, teleconferencing, or video conferencing, print resources, field trips, and audio tapes. So this flexible teaching accommodates the curiosity, allows the lessons to have a much looser structure. Let's discuss and thoughts play out and follow them to see where they go. In traditional course, some activities are synchronous, like listening to lectures or participating in discussions. Labs and small group work. Other activities might be asynchronous, like readings and homework, and also the assignments. Now, let's differentiate. Learning is a framework for or philosophy that involves providing all students within their diverse classrooms. So the community of the learners are a range of the different avenues for understanding new information in terms of acquiring content and processing, constructing or making sense of ideas and developing the teaching materials, and the assessments make sure so that all students within a classroom can learn effectively. Regardless of the differences in their ability, it allows students to show what they know in different ways. What does it mean? So these are: first is the design lessons based on the students' learning styles. Second is the group students by shared interest, topic, or ability for assignment. Third is to assess students' learning using formative assessment. And fourth, it is to manage the classroom to create a safe and supportive environment. So when differentiating instruction may mean teaching the same material to all students. Using a variety of instructional strategies, it may require the teacher to deliver the lesson at varying levels of difficulty based on the ability of each student. According to Tomlinson, teachers can differentiate instruction through the four ways. We have the first is the content, second is the process, third is the product, and for the fourth one, it is the learning environment. An example of differentiated instruction, it is to create a learning station, provide different types of content by setting up learning stations, divide sections of your classroom through which groups of students rotate. You can facilitate this with a flexible seating plan. Of each station should be used a unique method of teaching a skill or concept related to our lesson. For example, students can rotate between stations that involve watching a video, creating artwork, reading an article, completing puzzles, and listening to the teachers. Target different senses within the lesson. A lesson should resonate with more students if its target visuals, tactile, auditory, and kinesthetic senses. Instead of only one, like playing videos using infographics, providing audiobooks, getting students to act out a scene, incorporating charts and illustrations within text, giving both spoken and written directions to tasks, using relevant physical objects such as money when teaching math, skills, and allotting time students to create artistic reflections and interpretations of a lesson. We can use the think, pair, shirt strategy. It requires students to think individually about a topic or answer to a question and share ideas with their classmates. Second is to make time for journaling. A journal can be a tool for students to reflect on the lessons you have taught them and activities you have run, helping them process a new information.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am teacher Nurzaina K. Salim, and I am here to discuss about lesson chunking and micro-teaching basics. So first is the chunking teaching strategy. Let's begin by understanding what's chunking. Chunking is a way of dividing large pieces of information or text into smaller units or chunks to make information easier to understand and process. By using this strategy, you, as a teacher, can reduce the cognitive load on students and help them understand a topic using bits of information one at a time. Chunking will also give you a clear idea about which portion of the topic is difficult for your students. You can use chunking for any length of content to enhance the learning process. It has the power to help students memorize a wide range of information like locations, letters, words, and even music. The steps involved in the chunking process will depend on the information you wish to chunk. It could involve first, breaking big pieces of content into smaller units. Second, identifying any pattern or similarity in the smaller chunks. Third, organizing the information into different groups. And fourth, collating similar groups that one can study together. So, why should you use chunking as a teaching strategy? It is because chunking content into smaller, manageable pieces is a great way of teaching new topics. Students can derive a host of benefits if you strategically break down your content into smaller chunks. Here are a few notable benefits. It reduces memory loss. Enhancing memorizing capacity. It helps students synthesize information easily. It helps them identify difficult words and phrases. It makes it easier for them to understand the idea and keywords in a better way. It also enhances their ability to comprehend and paraphrase the content. Here are the tips to use the chunking method effectively. First, assess the learner's knowledge before you chunk a topic into smaller sections. Try to assess your students' knowledge of the subject. Assessing prevents you from being repetitive and allows you to build on what the students already know. It will save your time and energy and give the students something new to learn. So, here are the conclusions. Effective lesson planning is crucial for successful teaching. A learner-centered approach incorporating clear objectives, relevant materials, and a well-structured procedure maximizes student engagement and understanding. Chunking content into manageable pieces enhances comprehension and allows for flexible instruction adapting to individual learning styles. Regular reflection on the lesson's effectiveness ensures continuous improvement and refinement of teaching strategies. The key is to build upon prior knowledge, clarify transitions, and provide ample opportunities for student involvement. That's all for today's lesson. I hope you learned a lot for this day. Thanks for watching.